the germs, everything that's made in the planet. It's made by God. If it is made by man, it becomes questionable. Combinations of man is different from combination of God. Flower is the combination of God. Actual thinking, God thought to make this flower. You touch the handiwork of God. It's different from touching a cell phone. Very holy. You want to enter a holy places? I tell you what the meaning of churches. Holiest place is not these buildings that we make. How could that be holy if we make it? But there are places in the nature. I went to Arizona, Page, Arizona. I went to Indian Reservation, Navajos, a canyon. I think it's called Antelope Canyon, yeah. It's some kind of a weird, I felt the presence of God there. I said, this is the temple of God. Actual nature has made it. That is a holy place because we didn't make it. So who made it? Nature of God. Nature of God is the machine or the factory of God. Produces this, but directly He did it. See? So anything that God has made, anything that nature has made is big. Simply because I was born that day or Abdul-Baha was born this day, none of us is bigger than anybody else. This is not what Baha'u'llah intending by the Baha'i faith. He has not brought the Baha'i faith to belittle people, to tell them, hey, you have a boss. For God, it's me. That is not the intention of Baha'u'llah. Baha'i faith is the hand of God drawn to humanity as a friend. God is tired of being the only one ruling the entire universe. Trust me, He doesn't want that. He rather to be one of us when He is with us. Baha'u'llah says, as soon as the word better and worse comes among the people, that is the day when everything gets corrupted. So, but this 1335 is particular because there was Stephen Gray also trying to say that this Mr. I don't know who, he says is the return of Mitraya and 1956 and Buddha and all that jazz in the Buddhism. None of that is true. 1956 is 1335 of the Bible, and that is not what Baha'is they think is the formation of universal laws of justice. It is not. It is my birthday, the elder of God, which is the extension of His cause. That's all. But remember, again, let me reiterate again. So I'm the extension of God. What? Am I a drill? I'm a hammer? What are you? You must be bigger, Darrick. The hammer or the drill or the tools is sent to do something. So you have to get up, my friend. You know. There are people that have problem with this. So tonight I'm trying to tell you, my friend, please appreciate yourself. This is not egotistics. No. To know who you are is your responsibility. Less than that or more than that is both wrong. Modesty two-way is not acceptable. And going too far up, then you become arrogant. But the reality is that you are a human being. The will of God is in you. God does not know what you think because He's given His willpower to you. You're not a Mickey Mouse. He wants it this way. He wants you to do things that He doesn't know about it. That's what willpower does. It's the box. You lock your thought in it. No one knows it. No one knows what will you do. And that's how God wants it. That's why we're called human. If He knows what we're doing, then we become animal. Animals, you know what they do. They're born and they go. It's easy. So it's a repeat. He wants somebody that He can think like Him. So I've said that we're the nanotechnology of God inside to do things. This is what it means by God has made us on His own face. It's not his face. It's the reality of that. There's three things with God. It is he has a willpower. We call it Baha'u'llah or Jesus Christ. And that will creates, which is planet Earth. We do the same thing. Or we have an essence, which is ourselves, but we have a mind and we have a thought. We make that mind and thought. There we go. We make this vase. Just like him. He makes mountain. We make Toyotas. Pretty much the same way as he does. But we are for a short period of time. This is what he enjoys, that you independently, or the right word is, it's the wrong word, independent, interdependently, along with others, but yet unique. You get up and serve the purpose of your being in this planet. So don't be baffled by me as an elder if you think that you say, oh, okay, I believe what you said, Abbas, therefore this is a license that you are my followers. Anybody who calls himself follower Abbas is gone wrong. I do not have any followers. I refuse to accept any followers. I don't want it. I'm myself follower of Baha'u'llah. And there's only one boss, universal laws of justice, elected by people. And it doesn't matter how they behave. I already said last time. Their behavior is because we have given them the license to go to sit there. If they're not doing proper, it's me and you responsible, brother. So we have to go deep into other Baha'is, tell them what is going on, what the humanity is, where the need is. Therefore, new people get in. But objecting at those members of universal laws of justice, why they don't think like us? Well, they say we have a right to think our own way and this is what we want to do. Plus, we came here democratically, hell with you, Abbas, whatever you say. They're allowed to say that. They can. But I object at that. So what is my objection? Amounts to going to talk to the other Baha'is so they all, gradually the level of mind and understanding to go up higher and they elect other people inside, So these things doesn't happen. So we be very careful that the message and the messengers, what is important is the message, as not the messengers. That is not the case with the Bab, Baha'u'llah, Abdul Baha, and Shawqi Effendi. Only four. In here, the messengers are important. Any other case, hands of the cause of God, letters of the living, elders, whatever, message is important, not the messengers. People don't owe me nothing. But what I say, they have to, this is their responsibility to go to investigate, to see what am I talking about, and if it is right, they have to act upon it. If you told me thank you, it's like putting a tip in the hand of a mailman. Good. Me, I don't need your thank you anyways. Just get out these high horses and try to be friend, for God's sake, okay? I can't think anything else is more important, bigger than that relationship. Friendship. God in the Baha'i faith does not call us servant. He calls us friends of God. We are friends with him. That's what he wants. So to answer your questions is that did I choose myself as an elder? It's illegal. I cannot do it. I'm not allowed to think I'm an elder. If I want to follow my own hallucinations and thought, then I'm like everybody else. Isn't that the case with all these religious people? They convince themselves of something. No, I am not accepting this. I had a dream in Kelowna in 1993 it was. Was it? Yes, I'm pretty sure. It was 1993, August. That in my vision, I had a house just built because I'm a contractor. And I left the house with my family in the dream. It's all dream. And the house was listed with real estate. When I came back from my trip, I saw my house is altered. They have put additions on it. And Indians from India, like these Samis and all these guys with sense and all this comes inside it. The whole house stinks and it smells. And they have put different rooms in it. One place is the idols. They're keeping these idols there, that idols there. I said to my agent, I haven't even sold the house. How are you changing everything without my permission? He told me, sir, whatever your offer was, these guys, they have given you maximum amount of offer. You cannot refuse. House is theirs. He told me later. I kind of find out that I can't do anything about it. You know, my hand is tied up. So right in the middle of the living room, I see one of these Indians with their things is coming, and he was talking into these accents of the Indian. He was telling me that, Babuji, listen to me. I'm telling you, this is the truth. And I knew this man is wrong, and all the Canadians and white people that were around me and him, they're looking at what is going on. So in my dream, I really, truly, from the bottom of heart, I just had a great prayer. Such a, painfully I was chanting and praying. And his whole thing was vanished as if by the air that was coming out of my mouth. The whole thing is just gone. And people found out this guy is a liar. I'm coming out of the house. Again, it's a dream. And I'm walking side by side with Abdul-Baha. In the dream, actually, Abdul-Baha was short, and it was his hand behind, his back, like this he was walking. And I was right beside him. Because he was short, I'm putting my hand, talk to him like this. And I started complaining from what Baha'is they do and this and that. He was just going this way and that way, as if like waiting, when am I going to stop talking? So as I stopped talking, he looked at me like this. He said, many times I told you, scoldingly, by the way, like harsh. Many times I told you, you are one of these 24s. Just do something about it. He said that. I woke up. I was at those days broke because my wife took all my money, sent it to Australia, to her brother, to save it, because she was thinking I'm going crazy, I'm spending all the money of the family for teaching and we have nothing left. So in order to save the money, she sent it to Australia, and the brother ate the money, never sent it back. So we had to go on welfare because there's no money for the first time in Canada. And so it was very amazing. What am I supposed to do? Abdul-Baha says, I'm an elder. I kind of knew it in the past, but I said, okay, do something about it. So from Kelowna, I go about 6 hours north, which is called City of Prince George. I brought one of my best friends. He became Baha'i alongside of me. He was somewhere in Ontario. I called him Mustafa to come here and help. We're going to have to do something. He brought another Muslim guy with him who was a Baha'i but not registered. So, and then me and him, I started teaching project from Prince George. I went to the Vanderhoof, which is a different location, because all this assembly was bothering my teaching. So I went in somewhere location that it is not under their jurisdictions. I went out on the other side, half an hour away. I started teaching, forming an assembly there. I know how to do these things, okay, fast. I'm a salesman. And then me and this friend of mine, we had a dispute. He was bringing this fellow named Ali into the Baha'i teaching project. I told him you can't bring him in here. He says, why? I said, well, he's a Muslim. He's not registered Baha'is, and the National Assembly, they're after my ass. They find this thing, they're going to say, this is it. He's breaking all the laws and everything else. Whatever I asked him, he said to me that he couldn't believe that I have become such a dogmatic that I don't want to accept this Muslim guy. I said, listen, he may be a Baha'i and he's a Baha'i, but he's not registered. I follow the protocol, Mustafa. Don't bring him into the Baha'i project, teaching project, or we're going to get accused of covenant breakings and all that. He got mad at me. He got really mad at me and angry. He said, you know what, I'm not coming to your project, and neither my friend Ali has to come. So I tried to write a letter to Universal Laws of Justice about these issues, that the National of Canada bothered the hell out of me when it comes to teaching. They did everything to bring me in this country. Now I'm here, they were stopping me. They don't let me to proceed. Darrick, as I was writing my letter, this letter by the way is in Persian, but it is on my original handwriting is on the computer. It's under publications and the documents. And the documents, there's some Persian maybe translated for you. As I was starting to write, again, this is one of those cases, that I was trying to say that, what do we do about a Muslim, who says he's a Baha'i, but he can't be registered, now this is teaching. It's just kind of crazy situation. How are we creating these borders for people when they call themselves Baha'i, and they are? And this doesn't go with the protocol of assembly. These things was in my mind for a few days. I started to write. I don't know what happens. The subject came to be something else. I swear to God, to Baha'u'llah, and to my two children, I had no plan to write anything about these things. But it ended up that I found that there should be universal laws of guardianship. Where am I going to get the proof to do these things? Miraculously, somebody from India, Mr. Wahidi, sent me some photocopies of certain books, which is an encyclopedia. In there, I found what I needed. And then in Germany, they printed another Baha'i books, the letter of Shoghi Effendi in Persians, just came out. Again, right in there, I opened it, the page, all of a sudden it says, Darul Velayah. I didn't even read the whole book. I haven't read that book. I just opened the page, it was right in front of me. It says on the third building called Darul Velayah, or the Universal Laws of Guardianship, to be built beside these two buildings, which is the center of the interpretations and the commentary of the faith of God. I said, my God, look at this. The next thing on those, other thing, I found all my answers without effort, all the reasons for it. I said, my God, this is crazy. So the subject is changed. I go to Mustafa, I said, my old friend, this is serious. He said, what? I told him, this is it. I discovered it. Beside universal laws of justice, we need universal laws of guardianship. He said, what the hell you're talking about? This is covenant breaking. I said, no, listen. I read it for him. He said, wow, he got convinced. Totally. And he made an interview with me. So then I sent a letter to Universal Laws of Justice to nobody else, Darrick, just to them. They in return sent their consular, a great, academic man, the professor, I guess, of McGill University, a psychiatrist, but not knowing anything about the faith, That's what the Baha'is, they do, If you're great in some subject, they think, okay, they can make you a consular. Well, this guy is a doctor, a physician, I don't know, an economist. He can't just be a consular by virtue of getting a degree from some non-Baha'i organization. This is why most of these great Baha'is that we have as scholars, when they talk, my man, especially in Persian, if I have time, I would have to criticize every one of them in what they say. Just totally trying to mix Baha'i faith with other things. With the sociology or psychology of the Westerns and whatever. It's just totally convoluted. Totally. They think, okay, just he's a doctor, therefore he's the consular of Universal. Well, okay, he's a doctor, so the other guy's a butcher, the other guy's, I don't know, a computer technician. That doesn't mean anything. He has to be knowledgeable in the faith. He's not. So this fellow, he was questioning me. I put those questions in there. One of the questions was this. Are you calling yourself an imam? And like imam, you're inspired by God? What a ridiculous question. I said, imam is not a Baha'i term, and I've not used it in any of these letters. Why do you say I'm calling myself imam? Then you're saying that imam, they're inspired by God. No imam is inspired by God, not in Islam. Only Prophet Muhammad is inspired by God. Imams are not inspired by God. They're just appointed by him. Like Abdul-Baha, for example, is not inspired by God. Baha'u'llah is. Bab is. Abdul-Baha and Shoghi Effendi are divine, infallible interpreter. They're not revealers of the book. So is the imam. I said, so why do you first of all call me imam, which I haven't said, then why are you calling imam to be the revealers? I'm a revealers like them. I'm not no revealers. I said everything I said is in the book. Thanks God. I have no message of myself, I guess. Just brought you what's in the book. So slapping my face or slapping Shoghi Effendi's face? Because it's not my words. So why am I calling my elder? Okay, this was the reason, all right, that my childhood was very amazing. I was always in teaching, thinking about the faith of God. My writing is so amazing to a lot of Persians. They can't believe a child can write these things. Very mystical things. There are many predictions in it that happen about the revolution in Iran, about what they're going to do to me in future. So all of it is there. So I clearly saw 9/11 when I was in BC at those days. I had a dream. Again, I had a dream in New York. My dream went like this. In New York, an earthquake came. And the earthquake was so bad, it was taking even the trees out of the ground. And the earth was just shaking. The whole city was completely crumbled. I saw the huge apartment building, these towers, like an apartment building, just like a matchbox, oozing right out of the apartment building. The whole apartment was coming out and falling on the ground. And only when the trees even came out of the tree, the whole land became bald, then the earth would have stopped shaking. So I had in a dream that my brother is as a Muslim. He's looting in the dream I had. He's looting in downtown. The stuff, and my father is there, and my mother was with me. I said, Mother and the two children, we have to leave the city. I said, now. So we went away. I said to people, that was 1993, 1995, I think, yeah. I said something big is going to happen. It happened. But visions are like that. They're not exactly the way you think they are. Eh? It's all depending on your formats of your brain. If you're afraid of height, then danger appears in the form of height. If you're afraid of a snake, it appears in the form of a snake, or sea, or whatever. Or happiness to you is flying, so you might be flying. Or it's money, you might get money. So it depends how you have formatted your file as Darrick. Based on that format, your soul will see things and place it on your computer in the right. Your format types the story and you see the story. That's how it works. So, and my friend, I've seen some huge stuff again recently. What's going to happen in North America? I've said that message to the Muslim world. But don't wait for those things to come true, then you believe in me. You're not supposed to believe in me. Get that in your head. I'm not to be believed. I brought a message. You read the message and see if it is right or wrong. My brother was telling me that, why do you believe in Bab and Baha'u'llah? I told him there's 3 reasons. If Bab is, either he's lying, or he's just simply ignorant, not knowing what he's talking about. Okay? Or he's crazy. So it's either for money and fame, or just simple sheer ignorance, or craziness. I said these things are not applicable to Bab. So if he dies for his say, for his message, I have to accept he's correct. Unless I find that the doctors, they say he's crazy. Well, they Muslim, before they kill him, they brought Dr. Gormick to check, to make sure that this man is not crazy. He told them he's not. Certified. He knows what he means and he knows what he's talking about. It's not crazy. Is he ignorant? There is no sign of ignorance in his writing. In fact, it's so difficult that I, as an elder of God, I feel like a mosquito in it. I cannot understand it. It's so beautiful, like in nature. But it's very difficult, okay? I understand what Baha'u'llah says everywhere. Understanding Bob is very difficult. I'm going to be talking about that too. You sort of have to be a specialist. Bob's revelation is for elite only. Only elite understands it. Why? Because there were only 19 years. That's all the duration was. He was preparing the elite to come towards him, to send them as the soldiers, you know, as the Lord of the hosts of the Lord for Baha'u'llah. That was the whole purpose of his revelation. So it's very technical, very difficult. How could a 25-year-old man write these things? Beyond my understanding. Impossible for him to have learned these things. Impossible. This memory that he has, he talks so many verses and tradition, like half of the tablet is all narrations and quotation. He's in his jail. Really get this memory power to memorize all of this. Baffling. This is why when those Muslims, they saw this thing, they couldn't believe it. They knew he's the one. So I said to my brother, this is it. That's not applicable to me because I'm not Bob. You're not going to find out, okay, I'm not lying this or that. No, no, no. I could even be lying and still be correct. Why? Because it's not me, Darrick. It's the message. It's the envelope. Please open the envelope. The message is to you, addressed to you. I could be anybody for that matter. Elders, Shoghi Effendi says they could be infinitely inferior than Abdul-Baha. I can assure you, even a germs, even a virus of AIDS is not infinitely inferior than Abdul-Baha. There is a still less than AIDS virus available in this earth and this world. The word infinitely is big, my man. He says an elders could be infinitely inferior to Abdul-Baha. Accept me somewhere between those. I have no claim that I'm bigger than you. I think I'm a helpless individual. You are the one that you have to take the cause of God and bring it up and change it. Change America. I can't do it. I'm 55. I'm an Iranian. What's coming here? I'm like a movie. It started in the middle. No one knows my beginning. When I was in Iran, it was the same thing. I said, why am I here? Like a guy parachuted in the wrong country. Nobody understand what these people are talking about. Their religion I don't understand. Their belief I don't understand. Their hatred, their love is just totally alien. I was totally feeling alien in Iran. Coming here now, I don't feel as alien, to be honest with you. So, but it seems my part is to understand the message and give it to you, and you people bring this up and take it, my friend. I don't know. I hope I answered your questions. But if I didn't answer your questions and you felt that it's not convincing, then you have to bring a reason why am I not an elder. You see? This is my questions from you. If all what I told you, including those videos that I told you to go listen to them, did not convince you, then I'm asking you, why am I not an elder? An elder can be infinitely inferior than Abdul-Baha. Abdul-Baha says, this is a Shoghi Effendi, based on this word of Shoghi Effendi, elder is carrying a message. This message could be carried by a donkey. It could be carried by a pigeon. You know, the old days, the pigeon will bring the message. It could be a telephone call. It could be an automatic call. It could be anything. It could be a message in a bottle coming, you know, from the oceans. Or it could be just a neighbor passing by told him, hey, give this letter to Darrick. That's all I am asking, that I am. I'm not bigger than that, okay? Merry Christmas, and may God be with you.